welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would sit down and share a little kind of life update with you guys and talk about my 5-year plan. So first of all, I haven't uploaded in the last couple of weeks. I actually filmed this video 2 weeks ago as a de-stressor before going back to work, and I wasn't really aware of like my surroundings. So when I went to edit the footage last week, I didn't like it, so I've just kind of ignored it. And I just wanted to do a bit of a sit down and chatty vlog. So for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Sydney. I am a teacher. I am now back in high school. I apologize in advance for the lighting. The sun is doing its thing. But I'm filming in my living room today, which I've not really filmed anything in here before. So what kind of spurred this is I've been on YouTube for a really long time. I've actually been making videos. June marked 12 years of uploading, and same with my blog. And one of the first videos I filmed, I did a 5-year plan where I thought I was gonna be in 5 years. Now, at the time, I was a university student, so I was definitely focused on like education, and I gave a little bit of background as to how I kind of was going, where I was going, and where I was hoped to go. So I will leave that above if you want to go give it a watch. It's a very brief video, so definitely go take a look at University Sydney 5-year plan. Well, I turned 32 in July, and I will say that I thought that things would be a little bit different for me back then. I thought that I'd have a master's degree, perhaps 2 master's degrees. Maybe I would even do a PhD in history. None of that's happening. And I have no plans to make that happen. I have my undergraduate degree, my honors BA, and I have my teaching degree, my Bachelor of Education. And I have toyed with the idea of pursuing a master's several years ago, but I don't know, it doesn't call to me anymore. I would rather spend the money elsewhere. So yeah, it's not a big drive. Will that change? Maybe. Maybe I'll look to do it. If I do it, it will be a Master's of Education. And I, back in the previous video, talked about how I wanted to look at the geography of like education or healthcare. So I think I would still kind of keep the geography slant if possible. But yeah, I just don't have the same drive for that anymore. I also thought that I would have, you know, already been married and maybe had a kid or 2 by 32, and that wasn't in the cards, and I'm totally fine with that. My husband and I literally just celebrated our first wedding anniversary this past weekend, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So the biggest thing for our 5-year plan is starting a family. It's something that we've talked about. We originally talked about having 2 children, although Scott will still like jokingly say he wants 3 or 4. We've always kind of been like team 2. In an ideal world, it'd be a boy and a girl, and I would be a happy camper, but we'll see. Let's start with 1, see where that takes us. My sister-in-law and her husband, their little guy is turning 1 in October, and they're team 1. My best friend and her husband, their daughter turned 2 in August. Their team 1 child. She, like me, is also an only child. So, for anyone new, Scott is 1 of 4. I would never have 4. It's like a non-negotiable for me in terms of having children or a child, is that I want to be able to pay for university for my children. I did not have that opportunity, which is fine for lots of reasons. But it's one of those things I want to be able to provide that. And if they want to do a master's or something like that's on them. But if I have 2 kids too close together, that's a lot of money very quickly. So that's kind of my mindset. I was like, I want to have a little bit of time to recoup. But that would be the biggest change. We were, I want to say lucky enough, because it really was luck, that put us into our house. So if you had asked us on our wedding day if we were going to be able to own a house at any length of time, we would have laughed in your face and told you absolutely not. But I don't know, I'm not big on manifesting. I'm actually actively trying to work on that more. I think manifesting definitely played a role in us getting this home. So we bought our first house about less than 6 months from getting married, and moved, and a whole bunch of life changes. So I am now in a school board. I used to work in the private sector. So for me, I'm now in my board for life. This is my career. This is where I'm going to be. So right now, being a supply teacher, I'm in an LTO. So I'm working basically like a full-time, for anyone who's unfamiliar with those terms. So I am where I need to be. My husband's in a fantastic job. Again, we have an amazing house. I do not think this is not like our forever home. We are in absolutely no rush to finding another home. Like, we've literally been here 7 months now, 6 months, 6 and a bit. So this will be our home in 5 years time. I do not think, unless we like absolutely strike it rich on the lottery, which we don't really actively play, I don't think we'll be going anywhere else. I think we'll definitely stay in the area. We'll definitely kind of stay around here. I don't foresee us moving into Barrie, but it's like, it's there, the potential's there, but we really do enjoy where we are. So in 5 years time, it'll be the same house. I will have 1, maybe 2 children, hopefully. And I will, maybe in 5 years time, be a permanent teacher on the board. I know people who have been at the school that I'm currently teaching at for less time and have made it to permanent. So I'm pretty confident that good things will come. All right, I've got like the school that I'm at, and there's a school in town, and those are like my top 2. I would love to work there because like the environment is fantastic and I love the people. So I will say, I will manifest it now. In 5 years time, I will be permanent with the board. I will have a child. won't push too hard for 2, but I will have a child, and I will be enjoying my beautiful house still. I don't know what else to really share. I don't know what else I would really love. I would love to be more at peace with myself. Such a strange thing to say, but I feel like there's progress and stuff that I need to work on for myself that we're making baby steps for. I would really like to be able to, in some capacity, do some therapy. And I've looked into BetterHelp, and I've looked into all the other ones that you see sponsored content for. I'm not sponsored, obviously, but it's still just such a price commitment. And as much as like, yes, I should put myself first, unfortunately, it's not a top priority for me, even when it's tried to be made more affordable. So that's something that I would like in 5 years time to have been able to make progress towards. And just general good health is something I'd be looking forward to. And again, putting myself first in that regard, where I make the effort to take care of my body and my mind. I think, again, if you're a longtime viewer, you hear me talk about this a lot, where I always say that I'm an all or nothing kind of gal. And to my detriment. Like, it's not a good mentality, but unfortunately that's just kind of where it's at, and it's something I'm working on. And another thing I would like in 5 years time is to officially have my diagnosis. I'm gonna say I suspect, or I will self-diagnose as ADHD. I would like to have official confirmation on that, or confirmation is not there, but still, I would like something concrete regarding that, so that I can kind of use what I'm given and use the tools to live my life better, live my life to my utmost capacity, or however you'd like to phrase that. I would like to have traveled a little bit more in 5 years. Scott and I did not get to have our honeymoon because we ended up buying a house, and that was way more important. And even my mother-in-law is like, owning a house is way better in the long run. Not like financially or anything like that, but like knowing that you have a home is worth way more than a week away somewhere. So I think that Scott and I will do a little kind of trip somewhere, nothing big and crazy, but like maybe a week, or I don't know, 4 or 5 days somewhere warm. We have talked about just doing something like that, or maybe even doing something within Canada. Who knows? But I would like to say that we've traveled at least once in some capacity, where it's like, you know, an overnight bag. I would like a plane to be involved. But we also have some friends that just moved out to BC, so that's also an option. We'll see. But yes, I would say traveling is something that I would like to add a little bit more to our repertoire. But we're just such homebodies now. I used to say that I was, you know, an extrovert. I was that loud, bubbly, kooky, crazy girl in university. Like, I was a frosh leader for, what, 3 years, I guess. So I used to be involved in everything, and I used to love going out. And Scotty is the complete opposite. He loves to be a homebody. He loves to just relax at home. And honestly, I have totally absorbed and accepted that and use it to my advantage, where I don't want to do things either. So I think that I'll definitely need to motivate him, coax him a little bit. And I want to, you know, do stuff together and enjoy it, but trying to convince ourselves to leave the house sometimes is a bit of a struggle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I would love to know, have you ever done a 5-year plan, or what's on your 5-year plan? Did you accomplish the things that you thought you were going to accomplish a few years ago? I would just love to know. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, please give this video a like and subscribe. I typically have new content out every Tuesday, vlog, lifestyle, all that stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. See ya!